man, so
2 weeks in a row? Seriously?
just got back from Smurfs, The Lost Village.
Yup, we saw that movie, and
It was great!
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was awesome! Okay, awesome's a bit of a strong word, but oh my gosh, I was not expecting this movie to be this good.
What a solidly good film.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing you need to know about Smurfs. Wait, before we get even further, this is the no spoilers part. So,
Yes.
Feel free to hang out and hear our thoughts. When we go into spoilers, we'll say it so that you can leave if you don't want spoilers.
We'll talk about the one new trailer we saw in the in-between, and then we'll get into the spoilers.
Yeah.
Because small theater, same trailers.
Yeah, and the trailer that they showed. Hoo boy. Okay.
Oh boy.
Um,
But yeah,
Smurfs, The Lost Village. Good movie. Way better than Boss Baby.
yeah, and the trailers for this were terrible representation.
Yeah, first thing you guys really need to know about this is don't believe the trailers. The trailers for this movie suck ass.
Makes it look totally grown-orific.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, there's a few groaner jokes in it, but there's a lot of jokes that really work.
Really. I was consistently, chuckling and laughing throughout this whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
And, this movie isn't Lego Batman funny, but it doesn't need to be.
No.
I have a lot more respect for this movie than A, I thought I would, and B, than pretty much everything else that has come out this year, except for maybe Lego Batman. They have about the same amount of respect.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, this movie's a lot funnier than the trailers make it out to be. Even the jokes that are in the trailer, which seem really bad in the trailer, work well in the movie, and I'm almost scratch that. I am mad at the trailers for spoiling these jokes because I felt like they would have been even funnier if I hadn't seen them in the trailers.
I would agree.
The part where they're all getting eaten by the yellow plants and stuff, that was funny. There's a part in the trailers where they're down in a cave, which is, one of the most hilarious sequences in the movie. It's really good.
That, the whole time that they're in that cave,
we were laughing.
Just, almost pure gold.
Yeah, it was really good. And the jokes with, Nosy, the nosy Smurf, poking his nose and everything, and everyone's like, it's none of your business, Nosy. Those jokes aren't, that joke wasn't hilarious, but it was a lot better executed in the movie than the trailer made it out to be.
Oh, yeah.
We've praised the movie for the jokes, but where this movie does lack, however, is the story department.
The story, you can guess every single beat that's going to happen. All of them.
You can, just by
Nearly all of
watching
them.
the trailer, you can probably guess what's going to happen in this movie. And we won't spoil it right now, but if you had to guess by just watching the trailer what the plot was going to be, you're probably right.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm okay with the fact that the story's not okay. It's definitely the weakest part of the movie. So if you're someone who likes going to the movies to see a really solid story,
Solid, interesting, new story, you're not going to get that here.
you're not going to get that here. But what you are going to get is a nicely paced story.
Oh, yeah, the pacing was, perfect.
Yeah, that it's not trying to throw jokes in your face all the time. It knows when to take its time. You're gonna get some genuinely funny moments. And what I think is, sorry, I keep cutting you off, and what I think is the most important part here is you're gonna get some really solid character dynamics.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, go ahead and talk about it.
Now you've set me up and I can't talk about it. But yeah, the characters just work really well together. They bounce off each other in a fantastic way because there's the four main characters that just work really well. They all have different characteristics that just mesh very well. And then like the villain and his cat, and he has another character that he hangs out with. I don't know if it's been in the trailer. But those three...
I mean, I'm guessing that part was in the show, so people probably know who that character is, if you know what the Smurfs are.
But, like, those three work really well off each other. And just any characters that interact with each other in any way, it almost always works very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yet again, even though the story was very by the numbers, I felt a lot more for these characters than I felt for any of the other movies that we've seen this year.
Near the end, I was like, oh, is that a tear? I don't know. I'm feeling a little choked up a bit about the Smurfs.
About the Smurfs. And this is another thing we should say is I have zero experience with Smurfs. I've never watched the TV show. I know a bit about it because I'm an animation history buff, so, you know, like I know about the Smurfs, but I've never watched it. I never watched the remakes where they all go to, like, New York and it's terrible, and...
I've about the same experience. I know a bit more because I've read a couple of, like, really old, like, original comics, but by that I mean, like, a few pages or something. But yeah, it's not a lot of experience knowing what the Smurfs are beforehand, but I don't think you need it for this film. They set up exactly what you need to know, and then everything pays off. Right.
So, and we were talking about this on the way home. We said that this almost makes this work better than Lego Batman, because with Lego Batman, you really need to know at least something about Batman, or else a lot of the jokes aren't going to make a whole lot of sense. Granted, Batman's such a big cultural icon, it'd be hard not to know anything about Batman, but
there's not as many you need to know this reference to get this joke type of thing, which is a lot, if not all of Lego. It's not all of it, but that's the majority of the jokes that happen in Lego Batman, as compared to this one where it's like, yeah, they make a couple of references. I mean, obviously we haven't much experience with the Smurfs, so we don't know how many.
But there were just moments that, like, that feels like that was a reference to something Smurf related.
But it was a lot more of the jokes relied less on that, and there were pop culture jokes. There were a lot of pop culture jokes.
And I mean,
most of them were not great. A few worked.
No.
A few worked, but not.
And I will say that while I did really like this movie, it definitely had moments I did not like. Like, there were a lot of jokes that hit really well, but then there were also some jokes where I was like, man, movie, really? and when these jokes happened, I couldn't help but think to myself, like, no, Smurfs, you're above this. You're above this humor. You don't need to do this.
Stop with that joke.
Yeah, stop that joke right there, mister. You're better than this. And they have, like, songs, like pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
Pop songs in the movie.
It's like, those didn't need to be there.
And those didn't need to be there. And for the most part, they're fine. Like, they're not going to totally take you out of the movie. It's going to be kind of like, oh boy, here's a pop song in my movie.
Except for one.
There's going to be one song in this movie. When you get to it, you're going to be like, oh my god, really?
Well,
of course.
Well, I'm completely pulled out of this montage sequence now.
Yep. But even with all that said, I think the positives outweigh the negatives.
Oh, by far, yes. I think this is
a very flawed but very fun movie.
If you're going to go see one animated film in the next week or two, go see
Fuck Boss Baby.
Yeah.
Go see this movie.
See this movie. Never give your money to Boss Baby.
I mean, it's too late. Boss Baby already has everyone's money.
That's true.
Boss Baby outsold Beauty and the Beast now. Which just makes it like...
That's baffling to me. I thought people loved those stupid live-action remakes. How did it lose out to Boss Baby.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Because while I dislike both, I don't know.
I don't know which one deserves the money more.
Yeah, Smurfs. Smurfs deserve...
Smurfs! Give your money to Sony and Smurfs.
Yeah, honestly, like, this was a really charming movie.
Mm-hmm.
The creative team put a lot of heart and soul into this.
Oh, yeah.
There was, like, the color palettes were super
Exquisite.
nice.
I loved,
yeah.
like, all the movements in this were great.
Yeah, the animation was great.
Great movement. It's like, things don't just snap into place. Everything has loops and curls and spins. It's good.
Mm-hmm. And yet again, like, the writing plot-wise is mediocre and whatever, but the character interactions are really solid and get you invested.
Oh, yeah.
So
is anybody going to expect us to have this feeling on this movie?
I don't think so. I know I've gotten a couple of comments on the last one we did where people were like, oh man, I can't wait till you guys go see Smurfs. And you know what? I was right there with you guys. I was not really, like, I didn't have any high expectations for this movie. I'm like, this might possibly be even worse than Boss Baby.
It's probably going to be one of those grown-horrific movies. We're just going to sit there and, really? Oh no.
Yeah.
But no, it was the complete opposite.
Yeah. Also, another thing we noticed when we were driving on the way back is this movie didn't have any fart jokes.
Yeah, no.
No fart jokes, no poop jokes.
Like maybe one, but...
Yeah, there's one joke that's like half of a fart joke, but it's not just relying on a fart to sell the humor. It's like...
in conjunction with something else.
Yeah, and we won't spoil that. And there are a couple of gross out jokes, which I thought those jokes really fell flat, and were even like, ugh. But other than that, man, just go see Smurfs. It honestly deserves your money.
Gargamel's my favorite villain.
Oh, okay, so...
All right, so I think we're ready to transition now.
I guess let's talk about the trailer we saw.
Okay, so yeah, we saw Cars again, and we saw Despicable Me 3 again.
So
and then,
same thoughts on those.
Yeah, and then we saw the Emoji movie trailer.
Yeah. Man, I don't even want to give that movie time. It's done by the same studio.
I know.
So I almost kind of hope it's the same situation where the trailer just sucks ass and the movie's going to be genuinely a little funny. But
I kind of doubt it, because it's about emojis.
But you know what? I was thinking, you know what? Smurfs, what are they going to do with that? You know what? This movie was good, so... who knows? Maybe the Emoji movie could be good.
I doubt it.
That feels bad coming out of my mouth, but you know what? Maybe. Sony Pictures Animation, you did a good job with this movie.
Don't screw it up with the next one.
Please don't make me cry. And by cry, I mean like cry with tears of emptiness and sadness when I go see the Emoji movie, and not tears of like, oh, you've actually touched my heart.
Well, either way, we have time, because that's like August 4th or something.
Man, what a year. Sony Pictures Sony Animation Pictures releasing 2 movies in a year.
Huh.
That's weird.
Really weird. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and do spoilers.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of...
Yeah. So, but before we do that, yet again, if you feel like going to go see a movie that has good character dynamics and, you know, a mediocre plot but is pretty funny, go see the Smurfs.
Yeah, go see it. Don't listen to all the spoilers that we're about to give you. Go, get on out.
Yeah,
go watch it.
Because the jokes are honestly better
without
if we
being
don't
spoiled.
say it. Which I think even in the spoiler section, we're not going to talk about some of our favorite jokes because I think they're better delivered by the characters.
Agreed.
Yes. So.
Go.
Spoilers now.
Yes. Okay, you went and saw the movie? Good. Welcome back.
So, Smurfette fucking dies.
Oh my god, yes. Also, I didn't realize Smurfette was the main character of the movie until it started. I didn't realize that from the trailers.
I thought she would be, but yeah, they really put a lot of focus on the trailers on the other three.
Yeah, just like it's a group effort. But no, it's Smurfette with friends.
Yeah, Smurfette is the lead.
This is the Smurfette movie. It's not the Smurfs movie, it's the Smurfette movie.
Which I think she's always been kind of a main character.
I mean, why would she not be? She's the only girl.
Right. Okay, so if you've seen the trailers, you can probably guess, but the Lost Village is a lost village full of girl Smurfs.
I actually saw a trailer where they spoiled that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I saw a trailer on Facebook where they just straight up showed that, oh, it's a village of girl Smurfs.
Really?
Yeah, it's really stupid.
Oh my gosh, trailers, you are killing me.
You're the worst. Stop existing. Give us one, and then nothing else.
I want every trailer just to be the Cars 3 trailer.
Either that or the Incredibles teaser trailer.
Oh gosh, man, I miss those old Pixar trailers.
Where it's a
so
trailer
much.
that isn't actually the movie.
Yeah, where it doesn't have anything in the movie.
You give the idea of the movie without spoiling what the movie actually is going to be.
People used to hate those.
Yeah, which is
why
dumb.
Pixar stopped making them, and I always thought they were so clever and so good. Yeah, but anyway, trailers suck.
But yeah, Smurfette dies.
Yeah. So there's a plot device, and this is all part of the hackneyed story, okay? Remember, the story in this is not great.
She's not a real Smurf. She's made of clay by Gargamel.
Yeah, which I think is a thing from the Smurfs.
Oh, I'm sure
itself.
it is.
But there's some plot device that they figure out early on in the movie, and they set up
she absorbs energy.
She absorbs energy. She absorbs magic or something like that. And then...
Why is her name Smurfette? Why is it not Absorby Smurf?
Absorby Smurf. Well, they just found that out.
So, they should rename Clumsy to...
Good at flying dragonflies, Smurf.
Dragonflyer.
So, yeah, they introduced this plot device early on, and then to save the day, Smurfette absorbs this magic energy Gargamel is using,
and then blasts it off into all the Smurfs, freeing them and shooting Gargamel off into space.
Yeah,
except not space. But
and because she did this, she turns back into clay.
So she just straight out fucking dies. It's like they do the fake out thing where it's like, oh no, they're pushing through the crowd to get to Smurfette, and she's gonna be on the ground, collapsed, and oh no, is she dead? And then she'll wake up, and it'll all be fine.
And everyone's like, yay!
But no,
she's a lump of clay, and they back away, and I was like, oh,
she really dead. she really dead. Oh my god, this movie just killed the character.
And of course, they all bring her back through the power of love and magic and yada yada yada.
But it's really touchy because
okay, Papa Smurf isn't in this movie very much, but when he is,
he's done very well.
Yeah, he's really caring, and he has this nice little speech in the middle of the movie where he's talking to Smurfette, and he's like, it's just a very personal moment, but he's not actually talking to her because she's ran away. But I'm so glad that scene is in there. And this movie does not this movie is honestly really refreshing because it doesn't mind taking its time.
No, it just takes time to pause, let things sink in, let you think about it. All right, now we'll move on.
I mean, in several ways, this felt like an episode of a TV show.
Yeah.
But one of those episodes to a TV show that's a movie length, and
so a TV movie.
Yeah, a TV movie. Words. And gosh, I really liked these characters.
Yeah.
Oh, there's these romances, but yet not romances, between Smurfette and Hefty and Papa Smurf, and then the leader of the Girl Smurf village.
Which is like Willow Smurf or something?
She's Smurf Willow.
Smurf Willow?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also really liked those character dynamics because they never make it like there's a love triangle going on or anything like that. It's just like very natural, and then it never concludes with like, oh, they kiss at the end or anything like that.
Yeah, no,
it's just kind of something that happens in the world. It's just a part of the characters in the story, and it just feels natural. It doesn't feel like these characters are forced onto each other or anything like that.
Yeah, Hefty really likes Smurfette, and Smurfette's like, okay,
yeah,
that's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to reciprocate this, but I'm not against it.
Yeah, and
she like doesn't even really bring it up ever. Like, she doesn't acknowledge that he's obviously hitting on her.
Yeah.
Which even him hitting on her is very minor.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not a creep.
He's like, yeah, it's like,
it's just
she's
kind of
really
sweet.
Good looking.
Yeah, he's just really sweet. And I was kind of afraid at the beginning.
Jock was going to be a dumb, stupid Jock, but no, he's a good character.
I liked him. He was really cool. And
the nerdy guy was also pretty alright.
Yeah, Brainy. He doesn't like being called nerdy.
Whatever.
And then Clumsy, who is voiced by the same guy who voices Fix-It Felix. He was really funny in this,
he did a really good job. Remember that underground scene?
Oh gosh, I don't want to spoil that.
No, but that is so good.
That scene is so funny.
Oh, I
can see myself quoting this movie in the future.
Yeah. There's also like a scene where they're on the boat.
Yeah.
They're on a boat and Gargamel's drowning.
Yeah.
That whole scene is
really good. It's really
good
funny.
as well.
So yeah, we really like Smurf Village. I don't know what else to say because I honestly don't want to spoil the jokes.
Yeah, I think the jokes are really good. I don't want to spoil them for you. You should just go see this movie. No, seriously. And
I guess I don't want to overhype this because it's not like insane laugh out loud funny. It's a touching little film that made me chuckle and feel happy.
Yeah. And it's not going to make anywhere near as much money as it really should have.
Yeah.
But maybe us putting this out here will help get them a few more dollars.
Yeah, so go see the Smurfs. It was a good movie. Mm-hmm. If I had to rank it with everything else we've seen this year, I would tie it up with Lego Batman. Yes. And maybe I need a few weeks to
level
to process, which one I like more. Yeah. But right now
they're even.
Yeah.
They're even right on that good, almost great movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, Baby was fine, and Beauty and the Beast was bad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like after seeing that, I kind of have to move Boss Baby down a bit.
Really?
I mean, it's still not in the not good category, but it's in the fine leaning towards the not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like seeing this movie made you realize how much worse Boss Baby is.
Oh, yeah, it really did. It's like, saw Boss Baby, and I'm like, oh, I guess this won't be that bad. Mm-hmm. Maybe these movies this year won't be terrible. And then we saw this movie, and we're like, no, actually, that movie wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Actually, that movie kind of just sucked.
Yeah, it's kind of empty and soulless and... Had
a lot more poop jokes than I really should have tolerance for.
Yeah.
I guess there aren't poop jokes in Boss Baby. There's a lot of fart and gross out and...
Mm-hmm. Are you sure there's no poop jokes?
I didn't feel like there was any poop jokes, surprisingly. There's a lot of baby butts.
And a lot of excessive vomit joke.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Vomit jokes. Yay. But let's not end on a negative note, because Smurf Village was good.
Yeah. And I don't know if it really was intentional or not, but I feel like there was one moment where they were trying to reference Breath of the Wild. But I'm not sure.
I mean, probably not.
Probably not, but who knows? That information was out there long enough that they could have tagged that in.
They could have. I mean, there's plenty of, like, just references in this movie, and most of them are, like, little... I felt like the references...
Homages more than...
Yeah.
They weren't straight up, like...
They weren't like in Boss Baby, where, like, the kid literally has a Gandalf clock that says lines from Lord of the Rings. You know, they weren't that in your face about it. These were just like, hey, wait, that shot looks kind of familiar to that other movie. Or, hey, wait, that line is kind of the same in this other movie. That was a joke, but it actually also works here. It's like, the references in this movie were fine.
I guess we can also, in the spoiler section, tell you what that song was.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, listen up.
Here's the story about a little guy who lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue. Like him, inside and outside, blue.